We up, man.
All righty. Hopefully we'll see it here in just a second. I don't. Does my audio sound good to you?
You still sound good, my man.
All right. Let me check some things before we get this show on the road. Let's see. Um, all right. Looks like we're going over on YouTube's. I'm gonna check Facebook real quick
Okay. Make
and see
sure I
what
got
we
my
got
music.
going on over there. 'Cause we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
All right. I don't see us on Facebook yet.
No, I don't see it yet either.
Well, we're just going to go with YouTube then. How's that?
Let's see. I'll check Facebook too.
I see some guys lining up in the chat. Ah. Yeah, pigskin, get me some cold air. I got the truck running, but I'm shutting it off now.
My man's sweating in there. He hot.
Yes, sir, I'm hot. My goodness. It's 101 degrees down here in Laredo, Texas. I'm taking one for the team, Billy.
All right. Might have stopped letting you take it for the team, man. I'm going to buy you, come down and get you a portable air conditioner.
I want to see what we sound like on our audio. We've got a new service. If we can get some thumbs up or some response in the live chat on my audio, that would be fantastic. And we'll get this show on the road. I see Ramon Jordan's in here, Pigskin Pete, Michael David. Everybody's checking in. Well, let's get this thing on the road. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's do this on three. One, two, three. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? Well, we might not be on Facebook. We're back. There was a ball game last night, Billy. Did you watch the NBA Finals last
Uh,
night? What'd you think about it?
I mean, I got a chance to watch the game, man. It was a pretty good game. I thought the Warriors were gonna come back and win the game, but of course, when my man Clay went out, I knew it was over, man. I said Vegas don't did it again, man. They took everybody's money again, man. And Vegas don't like to lose, so it ended up being a pretty good game. I didn't think Toronto would win in six. I thought the Warriors would take it in seven, but hey, you have to give the Raptors credit, man. They did a good job.
Well, you know what I think separated the Raptors from everybody in the East? I think they had a good defense, but I think the injuries mounted. But you got to give it Toronto. They're a good ball team.
Hey, great ball team, man. When they lost the coach last year, a lot of people was kind of upset about that, but that's part of the business. He got fired for a reason, and he couldn't get him over the hump, and of course, everybody's gonna say this guy came in and took over his team and he won it, kind of like how Steve Kerr did with the Warriors. But I think the Raptors had great defensive scheme. They kind of remind you of the old school ball, the way they trapped Curry a lot, made him get rid of the ball and made Clay shoot. And of course, when Durant got hurt, it just made them just all over the place and a little bit tough for a team to be with the wheel rolling with that many injuries.
They're saying in the chat that there's a little bit of echo with Billy. Where's our mixer settings at on IPTTL? You might want to turn. What's your microphone percentage at?
Okay, let's see. How that sound, man? That sound any better?
I don't know. We'll see what it says
Let's see.
there in the chat. Uh, what's Roadshow
Well, I'm down. I was up
slider at?
this. I was up to 75%, but I'm down. I'm down to 50 now.
All right. What does Billy sound like? Can we get some feedback in the? It's not that bad. Still an echo. SEC Dog says it sounds good to him.
Hey,
I tell you what, Billy, SEC Dog, I noticed on our last live chat, he was giving you a lot of props and said much respect to Mr. Ratliff. He was bragging on and on. And that says a lot for being a Georgia Bulldog fan about how you took care of business in that Arkansas game.
hey, and I appreciate him for all that, man. Thank you so much.
We're going to get back to winning, but let's go back. I got to have a soapbox here, Billy.
Talk to me.
I I hadn't watched the first second of this NBA Finals. I don't know that I watched much over the last couple of years. I'll catch it here and there, mostly because I'm driving all the time. But basketball just isn't the same. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers here, Billy, and I'm not saying this because I'm 50 years old. I'm telling you the truth. This Golden State Warriors, the greatest team ever assembled. I'm gonna tell you something. If Golden State would have went up against the Pistons in the 80s, they would have gotten mugged, bullied, and roughed up. They couldn't have beat my Lakers. They couldn't have beat the Celtics. I'm just telling you, 80s basketball, there just isn't a greater decade than 80s basketball. I hate the way it's turned into, and even what they call the greatest player ever, MJ didn't even win a championship in the 80s because he had Bird roughing them up. He had the Pistons roughing them up. And as soon as all them players started getting old is when he won his first championship. Um, I'm just don't like the NBA. I'm going to say this right now. I know I'm a Lakers homer, but I'm trying to be biased. I don't think Golden State could have beat the Celtics of the mid 80s, the Pistons, or the Lakers. I just don't think they could have done it. They're a finesse team, and they definitely. I think the Pistons probably would have beat them worse than anybody in the '80s, just because the D. You go inside. Lambier's mugging you. He's taking your lunch money, and then he's talking bad about your mama. Larry Bird would tell you, one of the greatest trash talkers ever. He'd tell his opponents, "Hey, I'm dropping 45 on you tonight." He would hit 45 in the middle of the third quarter, and he'd check himself out just to prove a point. Magic, I'm just telling you, he may not be better one-on-one than Michael Jordan, but as far as an all-around player, team leader, I'm just telling you, my Showtime Lakers, man, that was a squad. What do you think? Am I off my rocker?
I mean,
Save me,
I
Billy.
mean, you're pretty spot on, man. You know them those 80 teams, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Pistons. I mean, you had some heck of a defensive teams, man. That's the difference in today's basketball. It's not defensive anymore. You know, we finally saw some defense in the championship game where the Golden State Warriors wasn't scoring 130 points a game because Toronto played defense, and they brought that sense of urgency where they wasn't worried about scoring. They was trying to stop Curry, stop Clay, stop Durant, and they did that. They made them one dimensional. They didn't have all these guys sinking in like how like you say, like Bill Laimbeer, these guys would get in your head and everything, and then that's what they did. And people say they didn't get in what's his name, Draymond Green's head. Well, they did because guess what? Draymond Green didn't get that many technicals. Draymond is normally in your face talking noise, but guess what they did? They made him change his whole perspective of his ball game, and that's how you get in people's head, and that's what they did, and they came out victorious. And as you can see, they won the championship.
I know you were pulling for Golden State, and I think I was too. I'm a little bit prejudiced. Everybody has a prejudice. I wanted the American team to win. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I wanted the Americans to win, but I'm happy for Toronto. They got their first finals. And back in the 80s, back when them foreign players started hitting the NBA, I didn't like that. But one thing about them Czechoslovakians and them European players, they had great fundamentals,
Yes. Yes.
and they kept a lot of our guys in check. But I'm gonna tell you, the 80s was the greatest, man. I hated Bird. I couldn't stand Bird. I didn't like nothing about Bird. I thought about Bird all the time. You have the Chief, uh,
Mm,
uh, Danny Ainge, McHale.
mm.
Man, I hated the Celtics. Golly, I can't tell you how much I hated the Boston Celtics. I could not stand them. But they were a squad, man. They were a squad.
Yeah, it was a great team, man. I mean, I was always a Lakers fan. I'm still a Lakers fan now, even though we losing. But I do remember back in the day when Magic, Byron Scott, James Worthy, and of course the man that everybody keeps forgetting about, Kareem
Hmm.
Abdul-Jabbar, the best basketball player to play the game. No one
Let
ever
me tell
talk
you
about
something.
that, man. I mean, I'm surprised he's so quiet right now. We don't hear a lot about the guy, but he was one of the greatest, man. He's the one that created a lot of stuff that made people love the game today. He changed a lot of things. He was the reason why Shaq game became so much better. The sky hook. Everybody started using the
Unstoppable.
sky hook. And guess what the big man started doing? Started scoring more points. And they started seeing it again. And even the smaller guys are doing it now. Now they're
Yeah.
doing what they call it
That
the
sky hook,
floater.
the sky hook was probably the most deadly shot you could have. Unblockable. You couldn't stop it. I mean, he was just money. Money every time. Uh, mm. I tell you what, James Worthy, he was a great post player. That was just a squad. AC Green coming off the bench. I'm telling you, you young bucks, y'all need to go back and look at the highlights of the 80s basketball. You had the 76ers were good. You had Dominique. You had Charles Barkley. Moses Malone over there. God, man, I'm just telling you, the 80s basketball would kill anybody today. You talk about, I don't care, LeBron at his highest on the Heat, he wouldn't survive the 80s. Kobe wouldn't have survived. Now Kobe probably would have been the closest. Kobe and LeBron would probably been. They could have made it in the 80s. But as far as the teams that they were on, that's what I'm talking about. Team
Yes.
basketball. There's no more team basketball
No,
anymore.
see.
There
And
were no blockbuster trades like there are now. We didn't have
mhm.
that. The general managers, they had to be scouters of talent and draft these players. I remember when Magic came out of Michigan State, beat Larry Bird at Indiana State, one of the greatest finals there was in the NCAA tournament, man. You'll never ever see another 6'9" point guard that could do what Irvin Magic Johnson could do.
And you're spot on with that. And you said something that I've always tell everybody the way basketball used to be. It was no individuals, and I can remember that I can name at least one player on every basketball team in the NBA back in the day. Every team had a star. I mean, now you think about it, and you go look at some of the teams now, you don't really know who these guys are anymore. Only the guys you know is the Houston Rockets, the Warriors, the Raptors, New Orleans with the individual players, but you don't see that when you had Dominique Wilkins, you had Glenn Robinson, you had Tony Delk, like those, you had Dale Curry. And I'm naming the smaller guys, but there were so many other guys that had bigger names. Isaiah Thomas. Everybody forgot about this guy.
Oh yeah.
What happened to Joe Dumars? There was so many. You don't have those
Oh
kind of
man.
guys. It was so many. I mean, even little Muxie Bowles were playing back then. There's so much more with basketball back in the '80s than it is now. No, don't get me wrong. I mean, they changed it because I think the fans stopped watching it because it was not scoring any points. But hey, if they play defense, they'll score points. Defense wins games. Offense sells tickets, and hey, the tickets was down all this year because no one going to watch the games. The only team they're watching is
Yep.
is the LeBron, Curry, That's it. You need everybody on
Yeah.
every team should be contributing every game.
A 50-point game today doesn't compare to a 50-point game back in the 80s because you're going up against the D. Our boy Bernard King went up against George Gervin one night, dropped 50, goes the next night, drops 50 on Dallas. There's got to be a factor that you got to be able to factor out what 50 points in 1985 is probably worth 70 today.
Easy,
Um,
easy.
because of the defense. Nobody plays any defense.
It's easy.
Who do you think is the most defensive team in the league right now?
I
You
would
watch it
probably
more than me.
say, probably say the Boston Celtics are probably one of the most defensive teams. That's the only team that's not allowing all those points. I mean, they would rather win a game 88 to 80 compared to 110 to 120 and stuff like that. So I'm going to most definitely say the Celtics were probably one of the most defensive teams this year.
Yeah. Well, go check out the super chats and the regular chats. I don't know if we got any super chats. I know we got some regular ones, but if you could read some of those off, see if there's anybody agreeing with us or not.
Let's see what's going on here, man.
I saw SEC Dog was in there earlier. Are you able to see the chat?
Yeah, I don't see anybody. Actually, I'm not even in. It's like it's not live anymore.
We're live.
I know we live.
You have to hit that quotation mark up under the video. There's a looks like a double quotation box. It says live chat. Do you see that? I'll go ahead and read some of these off.
Talk
I
to me.
see SEC Dog said Robert Parrish took out Lambeer with a forearm to the face and didn't even get a personal foul. Nowadays, Parrish would be banned from the NBA. Let me that brings up a good point, SEC Dog. You think there's fights today? Let me tell you something. This is sissy stuff today. When they cleared the bench back in the 80s, they were coming to take somebody's head off.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, it just doesn't compare. Michael David brought it. Pistol Pete, another great player. Herbert Bradford says that Lambeer wasn't dirty enough for him. The general's on hold. We got a couple on hold. Let's go see what we got on. I forgot we had some people on hold. I'm gonna go to the general. I'm gonna see if I can hear him. If not, we'll figure it out. What's up, General? Can you hear us?
Hey, General,
Can
can
you
you
hear?
hear us?
I don't know if we got him anymore.
No, I don't. I don't hear him.
He terminated. We're gonna go get another one. Let's see. We got Justin Taylor. We might be having some audio trouble. Can you hear us, caller?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. What you got for us? See if he's there, Billy.
Hey, are you there?
Hello?
Hey, what you got for us today?
I just want to talk about the NBA playoffs. My name is Justin Tagovailoa. I just want to talk about the NBA playoffs. I thought it was, honestly, I'm pretty happy because, kind of screw the Warriors, you know what I'm saying? You got tired of them winning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you're open to talking about college football or not, but are y'all open for college football, or is this exclusively about basketball?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I could totally do that.
Tell him to talk to us about whatever he wants. I don't think he can hear me.
Well, I can't hear him at all.
Hello?
Are you there?
Hello? Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello? Do you hear
I
me?
heard him loud and clear. I don't know if he can hear us. What's going on with our call-in studio? We may not be able to take calls We'll have to fix this, but we're going to hang up on these guys. We're getting some issues on our call-in studio. I don't know what's going on with that. Go to Skype and see if you've got the settings in Skype. I don't know what we got, but we're gonna chat it up here in a minute and read some more comments. We're still dealing with some of these technical issues. We had to do something a little bit different. Um, I guess everybody could hear him. I could hear him, but I guess he couldn't hear me. I don't know what's going on. We got Swamp Tiger in the house. Who else is over here? Alan V. What's up, Alan V? I know General. I know General tried to call, and I'm sorry, Justin, we couldn't do it. Well, our next live show, we'll have this all figured out. I promise you that. I'm gonna go through and read some of these comments. Were you able to check out the live stream there, Billy?
Actually, I finally got a couple of them here. It finally
Go ahead
showed
and read
up.
some of them off.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see, got SEC Dog, the best team ever assembled in organized sport history was a '92 Dream Team. Hey, hey, now that was a heck of a team, man. Gosh, I ain't
Yes,
heard
sir.
that one in a long time. The Dream Team.
Yep.
Let's see. That's pretty much all that's saying anything right now. Said Allen Iverson. I guess he was talking about who can sustain back in the
I
'80s.
think you got the volume on whatever you're watching that on. You need to turn the volume down because I'm getting some feedback on it. All right. Anyway, what else we got over there in the chat? Pigskin Pete's going to be going live right after me. Y'all need to go check him out. Good YouTuber. He's a Clemson fan. Pigskin, just have Dabo have your boys coached up when you play my Vols this year in the college football playoffs. That's all I've got to say.
Uh,
Who else we got over there in the chat?
let's see. Let's see. We got Herbert Bradford. Let's see here. We got Alan V in here. And we got, of course, you already talked with SEC Dog there. Matt Downs is in the house.
What's up, Matt? He helps us out on our page. We're probably going to keep this a little bit short because that's 101 degrees. I've got the windows rolled up and the engine off, Billy. It's hot.
What's going on, Alan V?
Raymond Jordan looks like he's a Laker fan.
Oh man, hey, you see what Swamp Tiger said there?
What?
Let's see. He said he don't mind Dabo's comment about Osama bin Laden.
Did you hear about that?
I haven't heard about that. I haven't watched any of the news the past few days. I've been beached out.
He said something. I'll fill you in. I want to see what you're thinking. He was joking around, and I don't remember how it came up, but he said he's not real well liked in Alabama anymore, and he says I'm Osama bin Dabo in Alabama or something like that. And I mean the internet blew up.
Oh
Man, you had all
man.
them Alabama fans calling for him to step down and resign. You got the Clemson fan that says, chill out, that's nothing.
Oh
What do you
man.
think about that? Was that offensive?
Oh man. That's
Were you offended when I told you that?
no man. Hey, you got to chill out, man. He's probably having fun with it anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I can understand why some people would be upset,
Yeah.
if you've had some people die in 9/11,
Yeah.
but
I gotta go listen to it, see what he's talking about, and see if what he really was trying to say.
yeah, I may be misrepresenting it. I don't know that I saw the whole thing. Uh,
I mean, of
I'm
course,
sure there are
that
Alabama
is a
fans.
that is a sensitive topic, though. I mean, we got to, that the biggest reason for 911 that that was suspicion of all that stuff, and Anytime you
Yep.
have anything like that, that's very tough. Especially with a public icon like Dabo is, and for him to say that, yeah, I can kind of see it on both sides thinking about it now.
Well, I tell you what, them Alabama fans that were coming unglued, if Nick Saban would have said that, they would be sounding like the Clemson fans are right now about Dabo. They'd have said it's no big deal. That's just the way our society is. When your boy, you downplay your guy and blow up the other side. But I don't know. I don't want to be offensive, and if anybody's offended by that, I don't want to be the generator of what offends somebody. But
Yeah.
I can see both sides. If you're not offended, kudos. If you're offended, I understand and I'm sorry. Everybody ought to be able to say what they want and feel how they want and shouldn't feel bad for how they feel about something. Whether it's racism, whether it's this Osama bin Laden stuff, that's just how I feel about it.
Well, of course, I am. I kind of shy away from that type of stuff. 'Cause I don't like to make too many people mad all the time. I like to keep my smile on my face 24/7. So I keep that out my mouth and I keep it to myself, or I talk to my family about those things. So I can't wait to hear what he said about it then.
Pigskin Pete said Billy hasn't been watching Pete like he should, but you're going to watch his live stream, Billy,
Oh, I got to
right
check.
after we
I will check him out.
and call in and talk to him. Alan V says Texas A&M is selling beer and wine at Kyle Field to all sections of the stadium. This could be a problem. What do you think about that?
Oh, well, hey, it need to be a problem. It's like you said, somebody said Alabama need to get over those losses. That's what's going on. When you get beat like that, you're not used to losing like that. Hey, and you got someone just said, hey, Clemson earned the right to say what they want to say.
Yep, Herbert Bradford said that.
Oh man, this is.
What do you think about beer being sold on college stadiums?
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. I mean,
I think.
me, of course, I would like to have some beer myself in the stadium, but it's going to be a tough situation. It's going to cost a little bit more money. I know they're going to make more money, but it's going to cost a lot with security now. They're going to beef it up a little bit more. Um, when you got alcohol with, sports and in the heat of the moment, you never know what's going to happen. I know the fans. Sometimes you're going to have some fans that are, you know, cool and want to hang out, but when that alcohol gets in place and you got a great game going and your team lose and all it takes is one little word and it just fuse up and blow up. So I'm hoping that they step into it a little bit slower than fast. So because this can be a tough situation if it goes overboard.
Man, you got some fans now that are crazy drinking lemonade. Just can you imagine adding beer to that? Being at Bryant and Denny and I could be down there drinking beer and everybody around me drinking beer and I'd call Nick Saban a midget. Man, we'd be in a fight
Oh man.
before I got out of the stadium.
Hey, I can imagine. I remember getting hit in the head with liquor bottles when I was playing on the field. So I can't even imagine when they get, have that kind of alcohol and stuff. So it's gonna be
Where was
fun to
that at?
watch. The Gators, the swamp.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about the swamp. Let me tell you something. Ryan Strick hadn't been in here. Crying Ryan hadn't been in here a while. We're going to kick Florida's tail this year. That's all there is to it. Well,
Oh,
anyway, guys, I'm roasting. You got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
hey, I'm just ready to get this show on board, man. Football season right around the corner. It's time to have some fun, and we're gonna show out this year.
Yeah, we're going to have our call board fixed by next Friday. I've got a couple of surprise players we're going to be talking to next week. Can't wait for that. We just got a lot in store. We've got a super big announcement coming up about coming out and watching the games in Knoxville with me and Billy. I'm going to tell you about that. We're going to have food involved. We're going to have a watch party at Hound Dogs, and got food with Chavis Smith. We're going to get him coming out, and we're going to do all the road and home games there. And we're going to be announcing more of that. And before we go, I'm going to announce a winner on Twitter. Somebody that follows me, I'm going to start announcing Twitter winners. We haven't done a Twitter winners. So I'm going to look at my followers, and I'm just going to scroll down until I see one I'm going to see where it stops. Let's see. It stopped on Vol O Raptor Georgia underscore Vol at Georgia underscore Vol. Um, Email me at volunteerroadshow@gmail, and I'm going to get you a $25 gift certificate, Hound Dogs in Knoxville. If you don't live in Knoxville, I'll get you the information, and they'll send you a hat, a shirt, anything you want. So email me at volunteerroadshow@gmail. We're going to start announcing some Twitter winners, so y'all can go follow us over there at Vols Roadshow, and you might be a winner on next week's show. And we're going to get on out of here. So y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Billy, we're going 15-0. I promise you that.
Yes, sir.
All right, Billy, that was a good show. I'm roasting. Go ahead and hit the end stream button, and we're gonna go watch Pigskin Pete.